So how to prepare for the round the world trip? This is Chili, my bike. It's a 800 GS from 2015, and the way I have her set up now is mini bags from Lone Rider, semi-rigid bags at the back from Lone Rider, the carry bag from Lone Rider as well, B&W top box, Wunderlich tank bag. What else we've got? We just have spare bottle for their fuel for the stove, Bugbusters handguards with LED lights, screen is from Wunderlich as well, and light protector from Wunderlich. I've got LED lights. What else I've got? Sometimes I have my GoPro here. I do carry 1 liter spare bottle just in case I run out of fuel somewhere in the middle of nowhere. But the good thing about it is this is really one of the most important upgrades I've ever done. This is Camel Tank 7 liter auxiliary tank, which in total with my main tank gives me nearly 500 range. And now let's look at the dashboard. So I do have 2 quad locks. Okay, don't ask why, I just do. I also do have Garmin Montana GPS. I have extra USB connection here. In terms of tires, I've been using Butlux Adventure Cross 41. I've been using these tires for the last year since really I've entered Africa, and I can't think of better tires for this sort of trip. They're so soft compound tires, so I've got awesome grip on unpaved roads, on rough terrain, and they're not slippery on wet pavement, so they're really safe. I love them. My rear shock is from TFX Suspension. It's a heavy duty one. It's much better than the original one. You really need to think about this upgrade if you're riding like me with a loaded bike. At the front, I also have progressive springs from TFX Suspension. My skid plate and engine guards are from Outback Motortech. I love the way they're designed. They really wrap around the bike nicely. They solid as. I've dropped my bike so many times, and my sort of fairings, as you see, and engine is always protected. And you can attach a lot of things on them, lights, bags, even cowbell, if you really want to. In terms of chain, I use DID, really good stuff. It gives me about 20 to 25,000 range. I recently also changed my rims. These rims are from Excel, good heavy duty rims. If you do a lot of off-road, a lot of rough terrain, it's really worth investing in that sort of upgrade. Transport. Obviously, we cannot ride our bike across the world without shipping it at some stage from one continent to another. There are 2 ways of doing that, and that is air shipment, sea shipment. So you can either put it on a plane or you could put it on ship. Of course, the quotation for the ship will be much lower, but be careful with that. There are a lot of hidden costs on a lot of occasions. So the quotation is one thing, but the moment your bike arrives to the port, they smash you with port fees, cargo fees, storage fees. So do research, ask people who've done it, and try to figure out if it's actually worth sending it via sea. Because it will take you a long time, and if you have limited time and frame on your trip and you need to get your bike as soon as possible, you cannot wait, it's definitely better to ship it on a plane, because within a day you just get your bike in. And there are good deals in the world. Like, for example, 3 years ago, I shipped my bike from Australia to Korea for 1,500 Aussie dollars, which is not that much when you think about it. I know there is a really good deal from UK to Toronto in Canada. You can ship your bike on a plane for $1,000. So do research, ask people, check Horizons Unlimited. How can you ship your bike, and where, and what are the fees? Under these incredibly beautiful circumstances, let's discuss tires. Considering that my bike is overloaded as it is, and I don't want to put any extra load on that, so the way I'm doing it is I plan ahead. So I roughly know how much mileage I can get from the tires, and if I don't know, I just wait until they sort of going low on the tread, and then arrange tire shipment to the designated area. It's really easy to do this these days. I've had tires shipped to Mongolia, Kazakhstan, all over across Africa. I have them shipped to hostels, hotels, mutual friends, mechanics. So it's really easy to arrange that sort of stuff. You just only have to be aware that sometimes you're going to have to pay custom tax on them. But then again, in some countries you do not have a choice. You cannot just get tires. And this is the way I've been doing that since the beginning of my round the world trip. At the moment I partner up with Bridgestone, so the guys just ship me those tires whenever I needed them, and that's really great support. But even before that, before I was sponsored, I was exactly doing the same way. I was buying tires online, and good tip for you guys, the cheapest tires I think in the whole world, or one of the cheapest, are in Poland. So it's really worth checking if there are some online shops in Poland that can have tires shipped for you. So what do I carry with me? Lots of stuff. Tools. Well, I've lost some tools as well on the way, because that's what happens. The idea is to have all the sort of necessary tools with you. So if you need to get to the battery, or you need to change your wheel, or you just need to, I don't know, just fix some stuff along the way, you're capable of doing that. So this is sort of very basic, but that's really what I need to carry with me. What else we've got here? We've got, of course, compressor. I couldn't go without it. This is from Rocky Creeks Designs. It's a really good compressor. It's just, it doesn't take much space. It's simple. It's awesome. This is fuel stabilizer. I actually didn't have to use that one in Africa, but I did use it a lot in Uzbekistan, where the fuel was 70 octane. So I just bought a new one and carry it with me just in case, because this particular brand works really well with my bike. I also carry a spare Google Tech filter that is normally fit in my main tank there. Really good solution, this Google Tech pre-filter. It sort of goes in there, you can see there, and that hooks here. It just stays in your tank and just filters the fuel for you, which is good because there's a lot of dirty fuel out there. Unfortunately, the Camel tank doesn't have pre-filter. Just in case my fuel pump's gonna go, I carry this little aftermarket fuel pump with me. I also carry engine oil filter, clutch, lever, and tire repair kit. So plugs, valves, patches for the what you call it, tube, and just bits and pieces, cement, all the tools, 2 tubes, so that's quite heavy. And we've got some glues. Just epoxy glues when things go really bad and there is, like, I'm just guessing, like a hole in my engine. I can always plug it with that. W40, of course. I'll carry 1 spare light and some stuff for camping. So this is like, if your pole breaks, you can use that. And this is really good one. It's just like a repair tape if you tear your tent. I also have one rider repair kit as well. That's pretty much it. This is really clever advice someone gave me before I started my trip. This is my clutch cable. So if I break the original one, all I have to do is just connect this one here and this one here, because it just goes along the line anyway. So it's easy. Riding gear. Okay, well, due to coronavirus, I had to evacuate myself from Africa, so I couldn't finish my little video for you on the road, so I'll be showing you my riding gear at my sister's place in Warsaw. So this is the gear I've been using in Africa for the last year. This is Revit's Levante jacket, Tornado pants, sand gloves. I really loved it because it provided me with a great ventilation. Both jacket and pants are matched, so I could just go in extreme temperatures and I would keep cool. In terms of rain, well, I do tend to just carry with me Revit overalls, so in heavy rain I would just put it on top. And the great thing about this jacket and pants is also they have awesome protectors everywhere they need to be, so shoulders, knees, hips, and your back. Right, now, boots. In terms of boots, I'm with Forma boots, of course. Best boots ever. I've been using these boots for a long time. I mean, not this particular model, but generally Forma boots. So I'm using Forma Terra Evo, and the things I love about them, they're waterproof, they're comfortable, and they provide you great protection. And this is exciting news. Forma has improved Terras again. I've just received a new model. So they look quite similar, except for the hinge that has been improved. As you can see, the new hinge sort of wraps around the back of the boot in 2 points, so that will give you a little bit more protection in the ankle. This is Arai Tour X4. No more flip-ups. I've decided not to continue with the flip-up helmet anymore for various reasons. This is Enduro type helmet. It's got a nice big visor, space for the sunnies, and goggles. Plenty of ventilation. I'm quite impressed with it actually. With the amount of ventilation you get, you don't get hot at all. I've been also riding with Lead goggles. So far I've tested 5.5 and 6.5 models. They both fit Arai very well. I'm so used to goggles now that I can't really ride without them anymore. They provide me great ventilation. They block wind and dust. I tend to use darker lenses, so my eyes are always relaxed. Before I was riding in sunnies with the visor in and out, and you're constantly doing this. So I think they're fantastic, and they provide you better ventilation. And because Arai is very quiet, even with the goggles and my CNAV speakers inside, it's quite quiet. I mean, for what it is, of course. So this is why I really wear goggles, and there's no going back for me. That's it. This is my best setup, and I'm super happy with it. I couldn't go any other way this time. My neck brace, which is already old. I've been using this neck brace for a year now. This is Lead Carbon neck brace 6.5. I love it. I think it's the Porsche of all neck braces available on the market, and the reason for that is it's super light. It's thin. There's no thinner ones out there than this one, and it's just so light. Once you put it on your shoulders, it just fits so well on the jacket, sits so well. Never restrict my natural helmet moves. The hydration pack is from Lead as well, GPX Trail. It's quite spacious, it's waterproof, it's got lots of extra features. I just love the design of it. Here there's your water bladder, and then here you've got another pocket. It comes with a little toolbox too, but I misplaced it somewhere. Here at the front, it's got nice pockets. You can put your stuff in there. It's got even a whistle. Sponsorship. I know this topic interests everyone. Basically, the way industry works, all the brands have certain amount of budget for the stuff to give away, and they're looking for influencers, online influencers, so people who have larger following on their social media channel. Look, the industry is growing so fast. There's so many people doing similar things at the moment, so it's not probably that easy to get sponsorship. And I know myself from my own experience, you know, every time I send a request for sponsorship to any other brands, it got rejected or I never got the answer. So it's really not that easy. But once you start growing your audience, you'll be offered sponsorship. The brands will contact you. If you fit in within their sort of marketing approach, if they like your personality, they would ask you to become their ambassador. So first question probably, how do I grow my audience on my social media channels? It's really not that easy as people think. This doesn't happen overnight. In my case, I'm active on my social media since 2015, so I've been online for 5 years, or I only grow my audience organically. So all the numbers you see on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, it took me 5 years to bring my social media to these numbers. So the only tip I can give you guys: be consistent, provide good content regularly, do the hashtags, maybe share it on different pages. And that's really the only tips I can give you, because this is the way I've done it, and I really don't know any other way except for hard work and consistency. A lot of people think that sponsored riders are getting money from the brands. It hardly ever happens. This is the reality. That's the truth. Most of the people only get the gear, and in return they need to expose the gear on their social media channels. Sure, once you reach certain level of followers and you're considered as sort of, the ambassador or influencer, brands, some of them likely to give you some cash for the road, but trust me, this is nowhere near to cover your traveling costs. So I don't know anyone out there who would live of financial sponsorship. It's just not happening these days, unfortunately, not yet. And the most important thing is only accept sponsorship or go for sponsorship with the brands you believe in. So then you will have no problem with promoting them as an influencer, as their ambassador. There's nothing worse than talking about the gear that is really not suitable for your needs, or it's just crap, or you're really putting yourself in a very difficult situation. At the end of the day, we all need to have the gear. We all need to have helmet, jacket, pants. We need to put engine guards on our bike. We have to have certain harness. We have to have tent, whatever that is. We need to have that gear regardless. So if you're applying for sponsorship, apply only for the brands that you really, really know they're good for you, and that would be your choice without even sponsorship itself. So be authentic. Do not lie to people. And it's okay to say something went wrong with the gear, even if you're sponsored. You need to give the feedback as it is. So when you have the gear that you truly love, you have no problem with promoting it. How's my hair? And in last section of my video, I would like to answer 3 questions I've received from you guys. So the question number 1 is, how do I handle the moments when I'm completely alone for days? Well, I never get lonely. And the reason for that is I've got so much work to do with Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Just being active on social media gives me the purpose. It's a full-time job with a lot of overtime. It's not just about the traveling. The traveling itself has got a purpose as well, but it's the traveling, documenting it, and sharing with you guys. So it's not like I'm just going to pull over, set up my tent, and that's it. I'm good to go to bed. No, I have to set up 3 cameras, record this, record that, have a little chat. So it keeps me busy through the day, and then you have to go through your content, process it all, upload, edit, publish, engage with people as well. So just takes so much time. And I think another positive thing about it is the contacts that you receive on your social media, because people know about you, are just priceless. So that's another big positive. The only downside is it's a lot of work, and sometimes you're really sick of it. But like I said, I never get lonely. So because I'm also always busy. I don't think I had too many days when I did absolutely nothing. It just doesn't happen. All right, next one. Question number 2. What do you do when your bike breaks down? Well, of course it can break. Bikes are bikes, and I think it's just a matter of when, not if. At some stage you will have issues with your bike, minor or major. I was lucky enough, I only had really blown suspension in Tajikistan, pump failure in Turkey, and recently I had battery problem in Lesotho. So if that thought of my bike's going to break down, so I'm not going to go anywhere, is the only reason for you to not go by yourself and explore the world, explore the unknown, stop it. As long as you're healthy, there's always a way. Don't worry about it. You work it out. I've got 2 tips for you before you go for solo trip or for just longer trip or any trip. It's a good thing to do anyway. Do maintenance training before you go. So learn how to do basic stuff on your bike. Learn how to do basic service. Learn how to change your wheel, adjust your chain, change your battery, or whatever. All these little bits and pieces that they easy to do, and it's not hard to learn. If I can do it, you can do it yourself as well. But that little knowledge will definitely make your journey less stressful. And like I said, if something major is going to happen to your bike, like for me in Tajikistan, blown shock, well, there's nothing I could do. I had to go hopping like a yo-yo for 2,000 kilometers until I got to Uzbekistan and I could order a part and change my shock. So there's always a way. Worst case scenario, you put your bike on a truck, you take it to the mechanic, order parts and fix your bike and you go again. And second tip I've got for you guys, which is a little bit off the topic, but it's important for me to say it. Do off-road training. Off-road training will give you just the confidence and will make your journey so much more enjoyable and less stressful. You will be just confident in taking routes that you don't know what's going to be there. Unpaved roads, tracks, whatever. Sure, you're not going to be pro, you're not going to start in Dakar after one training, but it doesn't matter. Do any training. The more you do, of course, the better. But even a little bit of training will give you the confidence. You're going to be safer. You're going to control your bike better. So if you're planning overland trip or you're planning a trip to remote areas, please do maintenance training and off-road training. That's really, really important. And the last question is, which panniers are better, soft or hard? Okay, people ask that question a lot of occasions because I did travel for 2.5 years with hard panniers, with aluminium BMW panniers, and now I've just recently swapped for Long Rider semi-rigid panniers. Choosing panniers is like choosing jacket, pants, helmet, boots, or even the type of bike. It's so personal, and it really depends on what you want and what sort of riding you do and what are your priorities. So for me, before I started this trip, I went with aluminium panniers because my priority was safety, and I did carry a lot of gear like laptops, cameras, and for sure aluminium panniers will give you better protection for all your gear, 100%. And you can just park your bike anywhere and go for a walk because all your gear is locked, so that's no worries. And of course you can put stickers so it looks pretty flash and fancy and all sorts of stuff. But the problem with aluminium panniers is, and this is the main reason why I've changed them, because I found myself in this situation on a lot of occasions when I was traveling on unpaved roads. They're bloody dangerous. If you're doing off-road and sometimes you need to put your leg down and it's uneven ground or it's sand or rocky or there's rut, on a lot of occasions my leg literally went under the pannier and nearly I broke my leg because of the force of the pannier. And if you crash really hard with aluminium panniers, they will just snap and you will not be able to continue your trip because you will have to weld it. And sometimes you'll be in an area where you cannot weld it. So you better have big straps with you so you can carry them somehow for short distance. So I've decided that I do too much off-road to continue with aluminium panniers. And a few months ago, I've changed for Long Rider motor bags. I like them because they sort of like aluminium pannier, but they're soft. So the impact during the crash won't be as hard and they will give away because they're semi-rigid, right? But you still can arrange your stuff inside the pannier like it's aluminium, so you've got the space, you can look inside, and it's like, I don't know, I like the way I designed, and I've got cool features. You can attach bags on them. Long Rider is also lockable, so I don't need to worry about my stuff being pinched when I stop somewhere in the city, so that's a great thing as well. yeah, so that's why I went with the long rider semi-rigid panniers, and that was my choice. You need to make your choice yourself and see what are your priorities. And this is end of my video. This was part 2 of how to prepare for a round the world trip. If you guys haven't seen part number 1, please check it out. Now, in part number 1, I've covered documentation, accommodation, finances, health and food. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and join me on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you so much, guys. Until next time. Under this incredibly beautifully under this incredible beautiful circumstances, I know there's this misperception of, I know there is this misperception. I know there's this if you're taking the brands on board, once you